Kick.
I know all about it.
Kick, sir. Sir, you might have hung the title now, man. You can test this.
I know all about it.
Listen, if you can get, if you have to rap this thing,
No, it's bad.
yeah.
Come on, ready. Old school. Nah.
If you have to rap this thing, yeah, I know about that. I said, if you have to rush this thing, yeah, I know about that. Then, yeah, you're sitting back. If rush this thing, yeah. Come on.
Oh, crap.
Already? Yeah.
What, you got it from the shop across the road?
Give me tips.
Oh, I was gonna ask you, how did it go? The food making? Yeah.
You ain't chefing that.
Everyone says that.
I think you get a mixture here, and you bring me the rest. I'm dead serious.
Nah.
But listen, she don't even know what other things. Yeah, you can get the right one. Let me know you can add stuff back in.
What's it? You can add stuff back in.
Yeah, we don't. Listen, you said you said the split comes from the oil fermenting. Split now from the baking powder. See, I didn't know that. I thought you don't need it properly, boss. No. If I see someone give a smooth dumpling, I get that because I need it. I like it. I know. Because they usually crack. Huh? They usually crack it. But it's a smooth one. I thought, they managed that. We got need it good. People like that, they probably can just look at it and tell it's cooked. But if you can't tell it's cooked, you put the baking powder in.
Hey, look at.
And then when it splits, you know the inside's cooked. So you just give it extra 2 minutes. That's not like give it extra 2 minutes. You put in deep oil? No. Someone just flip it in it and then open it afterwards. So you know. It takes long though. Like to be fair, it's not long. You see the frying time. The festivals you fry 5 minutes on each side, so it's quick.
Yeah.
Everyone's same actually. You put sugar in there. They put like a cup of sugar, man. Yeah. This is why you see when you go to dessert shops, you see the cakes. We eat it, you know, when people don't waste, they put like 2 cups of sugar in the cake. But you see when you go food shops, there's going to be a lot sweeter because they want you to come back. Yo, she want it quick. Start talking to me like that. This one man don't get gunshot. C'est fait. To get some gunshot. C'est fait.
Yeah, go. Right.
C'est fait. Même le food, I
Right. We'll forget what it came music, and you know what? After a while, we'll start right.
Say that again. Do you think we'll start? When they did it. To mix it like come on, yeah, huh? Yeah. This bad man don't get gunshot. Say that, I can't have me and the gunshot. A gunshot. Say that, black talent on your face for gunshot. A gunshot. Say that, you have your food like a blood clot gunshot. Then the gunshot. Hey, we like it, we know. Let me tell you that. Street telling I'm getting serious. I'm getting no nervous. Boy, let me tell you about. All I got is no boy can go wrong me. Oh yeah. You make some boy wipe up her and chat come flat. Come and not stop my food dark. Me no matter how you want me no care about that. You're talking on my face. Say one place I run that. Man a action back some boy only full of chat. Enough of them stairs up. Enough of them stairs up. Enough of them stairs up. Talk them action back. Enough of them stairs up. Enough of them stairs up. Enough of them stairs up.
Yeah.
Chat them and chat me no pay that no mind hear that.
So we done. Oh, sorry. The I know, sir. I got it. Well, yeah. What's good to us? Got a projection.
Yeah, come on. It was enough of them stairs up. Enough of them stairs up. Chat them and chat me up here that don't mind here. You know something? One phone call it take to make some boy.
You don't need that.
You don't need it? Put it away, please. Miss Bates, I need to yeah. Just talking on my face. So them one place I run them around. You think I'm gonna come on still? Some boy only pull up chat.
Yeah, how long? I brought it.
Enough of them stairs up. Enough of them stairs up. Talk to my dogs, action be back. Enough of them stairs up. Enough of them stairs up. Enough of them stairs up. Chat them and chat me no pay that no mind hear us. Boy, no fear them, boy. Don't no fear them. So I fear them. More no fear them. Don't you no fear them. We don't play them. Boy, enough of them stairs up. It's going to live soon, yeah? Yeah.
Is it? No, like even fun.
Hey, I had to go to my medicine. You don't get catch. Nah, I mean, trust me. Do me a favor. Try to call me about. I'll let you know to call me. Not to you. Everything we're bad, everything we're bad.
Black rain fall when you see me now. He'll pan a beat like Trinidad. When you step in the street like criminal. She'll up you with the minimal. Nobody have you, don't give a damn. When they grab up.
One more tune from our brother the UPK. Trini.
Yo. Now let's bomb clap them boy, man. Bad mind never kill them.
Yeah, I don't know if you watch this.
Yo, stop us.
I think you watch the radio.
Don't chat.
Bang bang. Shut it. Yeah. Put it down. Huh? I listen. Why them come here? They can't get it. I come in.
Alright, get crack.
They have to stay wrong. Now take no check with me payroll. Anything rise up, pay down. Them a send check up, pay won't. That way we make it step pay down. But then they say, well,
Ali's Park, Jordan. That's checking where people are checking in.
Oh, yeah, we got. We roll now. Yeah, it's alright.
Baby, when I come through, convert to the drop top, still have a sunroof. It down them rolls, chop your one pro. Alright, what I'm on. Anyway, me now go in the street, them bad. All looking at the trees, member. Really somebody ever treat them bad. Send them to them, need them, got the sweet music. Fun will feed them bad. Get your new drip, dog, you beat them bad. Look how we just come, but we have beat them bad.
Get cracking. So, what you want to get into first? To be fair, this is your show, so what you want to get into first? What you want to get into first?
Sorry, what? I gotta stop that either.
What's that? Good.
All right, clap your. Alright, Shalam, give me 1 second. Alright, Shalam to the under end. So this is all the brothers in the UK school. Just one moment. Try it later on. Quick Shalam to who's in the class? Shalam to Shamgar or Shamgeezy, as they call him in the West Coast. You know what I mean? Oh, you didn't go West Coast, did you?
Nah.
We went there. They got a nickname for him to call him Shamgeezy. We got the boys in the house, and the Quaff, Nakapaya, Theo Cunningham, young man in London, strong, powerful brother in London.
That's right.
What Red Cross win? What was Wednesday?
Wednesday.
You know what I mean? It's the under end. So we got what? So take your name.
Oh, it's Captain Parashia. You know what I mean, in the UK, and I'm alright.
Officer Dumgabo.
An officer Parasha. So sorry, Karafia.
Oh, never know.
I don't really about what you said. It's like after Karafia. I'm also saying name to me capture. That's why. So we're gonna go into a few topics. So the first topic in the UK, what we heard about, it was all my life we hearing about Islam is the way and Islam is the way and yada 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 and the way of peace. And you had Lisa Mercedes, man. You know what I mean? The famous UK dancer artist. You know Lisa Mercedes, yeah.
Right.
Style OG's woman. You know Lisa Mercedes.
Yeah, I'm familiar with it.
Breasts all hanging out, always acting like a whore. You know what I mean? Got the
the Nicki Minaj booty implants and whatnot, man. So she finally did a shahada. What's a shahada of Dangaba?
It's when you basically become a Muslim. What they say is, oh, you're a revert because you was born a Muslim. That's what they like to say. So they don't say the word convert. They be like, oh, you're a revert because you was born a Muslim, you went astray, and now you've come back. So she done there where they say that nonsense in Arabic, and then you're now a Muslim again. When once they become Muslim, they don't do nothing different to what they was doing before they was a Muslim. So they don't really change anyway. So with Lisa Mercedes, she had her behind out on the 20th of April. She done the Shahada on, say, the 21st, and she had her behind out on the 22nd of April.
That's right.
That's what it is. Like all Muslims say, oh, this is the way, Islam is the way. But every Muslim I know a drug dealer. Right. Every Muslim I know was selling drugs before they're Muslim, and they're selling drugs after Muslim. Right. So really, what did they convert to, man? That's what I need to know.
Exactly.
That's what I need to know. So it's like so Lisa Mercedes now, she's turned into a Muslim. So she thinks now Islam the way, may of peace. And who remembers in the early 2000s, man, when black Muslims were being converted because they'll get threatened and whatnot. Man was forced. Remember in London?
Yeah, I remember that.
What are they?
Yeah, you know, like back in them days, it was really heavy. Meaning, if you didn't follow the Islam faith, that you know what I mean, they would threaten your life. You know, there was instances where people kicked down doors, ran up in people's bedrooms, and like, listen, you better accept Allah or you die. And some people did die, and it was a big thing in the UK where if you did not want to follow Islam, you would get beat up. Your life would be hell. And you know what I mean? It happened by force. No one followed Islam because they agreed with it. No one followed it because it was the right thing. They followed it because they wanted their life just to not be so bad, man. They wanted to walk down the road and not have the gang that sold all the weed saying, follow Allah, man, accept Muhammad. And that's the problem. So many black people that follow Islam in the UK now, they're not following it because they believe in it. They followed it because they didn't want to get beat up. They didn't want to get harassed. And that's why in the UK, so many black people, even from the West Indies, follow Islam even now.
So Lisa Mercedes, converted to Islam now. I reckon it's like COVID-19, you know. You reckon she's shook with the COVID-19? Probably the COVID-19 for shit, man, that changed, time's getting hard, man. But what she should know is she's come to UPK, man. Joining Islam ain't the way, man. How you gonna join Islam when they're scared themselves, man? It's small heaps got one of the biggest mosques shut down, man. Right by now, the Ramadan season, they're shook, man. They're scared, man. They can't even open the mosque. Apparently saying they might shut the mosque for good, alive. You heard about it? They say they might shut it for good, man. They're scared of COVID-19. She joined the wrong religion, man.
Right.
So anyway, she joined this religion now, thinking it's a religion of peace. And guess what she got, man? Death threats, man.
Exactly.
They're saying, so you can't be no Muslim, man. You can't be one of us, man. What saying how you're making a mockery of us, man. I thought Islam welcome everybody, man.
Right.
Even big batty Jamaican women, man. Right. Even Jamaican with fake balloon breasts. I thought they accepted everybody, man. They said, nah, we don't accept you, man. You black women, we don't accept you, man. You're too ratchet. You can't join this religion, man. And you know what's fucked up about it as well? The main thing. Some of the biggest whores are Muslim anyway.
Exactly.
They got the nerve to say, listen, they got the nerve to say, you're a whore. You can't be in this religion. But some of the biggest whores are the Malis, man. Right. The Malis with them with the long burqa. They're the biggest whores, man. Them Pakistanis, after Mosque, they're the biggest whores, man. I got the nerve to say, listen, you can't be one of us. You're a whore, man. This is honorable. Which part, man? Since when has Islam ever been honorable, man?
Never.
You tell me this had the most drugs in Brum anyway. I'm not from London, but in Brum anyway, all the Pakistanis had the most drugs, man. Right. Some of the greatest Muslims are the greatest whores as well, man. The Malis, forget about it, man. The Malis have the scarf here and some fly makeup on under the finger, man. They have the burqa on and tight jeans under the burqa, man. And they come make out like, we some good Muslims. Come on, behave, man. It's like
also, if I could, with these Muslim women, what they used to do is, say they would live in Birmingham, they would go to a university in London or Stafford, so they could go there and be a whore and go to the clubs and their family members don't see them. That's exactly what they do. You see them out in Birmingham on nights out. These is proper Asian girls. And also with Lisa Mercedes, when she was being a whore, behind all out, no one cared. She was allowed to be one. As soon as she said she's a Muslim, everyone's saying you can't be Muslim because she's a whore and whatnot. Which means black people should take that same approach to Lisa Mercedes, man. Say to her, listen, man, you're a black sister, you're not allowed to be a whore. Instead of her joining some next nonsense religion and them telling her she shouldn't be a whore. them telling her she's not allowed to be a whore and she's not allowed to be Muslim. That's what we should be doing in our community, is not having her naked in the music videos. I mean, if us black men boycotted these women with fake breasts and behind in the music videos, these women would understand they don't need to take all their clothes off. Because when you look at all these rap videos, every single one, what do they have? The nice, expensive car in there, followed by a naked woman, hair twerking, then pouring champagne all over it. If we stop glorifying that lifestyle and just had, you know, sisters in the videos which is covered up, that's a good woman. There'll be plenty more good women, man. Instead of having these women that, and the thing is with these whores as well, they're not just in your music video, they're in a million of it. Like you ain't even got something special which is exclusive to your video. You're paying all of this money. How much do they charge for these videos?
A couple racks, you know. It depends.
Someone that wants to be a rapper online, let me know how much. Let me know how much you paid for one of them women in your video. How much would you say roughly?
Grands easily.
I said 10 stacks.
See, so you're paying 10 grand for her to just be naked in your video, and it's not like she's only exclusive to your video. She's going to be in somebody else's video. She's going to be in a gigs video. Whereas you can get a sister that covers up and portrays the right image, and you can have her in your video for free, man.
That's right. And if I can add to, isn't it ironic? It's a holiday in that faith. I believe it's Ramadan. It's Ramadan. And then she converts. Isn't that ironic? That you converted at a time where it's I wouldn't call it a high holiday, but for them, it's a big day. And you seem to convert at the convenient time. You're right, because here's the thing. I don't want to be rude, but it is what it is. People like her, they want to get recognized.
That's right.
They want to get, they want all the eyes on them. And she knows, if I convert at this Ramadan time, I'm going to get noticed. Maybe my shitty reggae career, someone might, notice it a bit more than they should, because if it's the same one we're talking about, them songs were awful, man. Them songs were bad. Like, them songs burn your ears, man. Like, you can't did someone really record that? Did someone sit down and make that tune there? And them songs were bad, man. So these things here, it just say stunt to help her. She doesn't believe in Islam.
Sucks. All that I hear that, but what pissed me off the most with these Muslims, man, that it gets to me jumping on the DMs like, oh, you're disgracing Islam. Like, what? Muslim girls are the biggest whores, man. All them Somalians are the biggest whores. Where was all this energy with them Somalians, man? Have you not seen them YouTube personnels? They're all Muslim, man. All your favorite London rappers are Muslim, Nines, Muslim, Scraps, Muslim. All of it, Section Boys, all Muslim. And no one said nothing to them, man. Making out like Islam's a religion of, decent women, and you're bringing it down, man. Since when? Tell me when, man. The biggest ones are always Muslim. So lucky, man.
Nah. And what's funny is they're saying that even though they dress up, meaning like they wear the scarf and like the burqa, their legs are always wide open. In Malaysia, that is a common saying that they have, because you do know over there that Islam is big as well in Malaysia, and that's the saying that they dress up, but their legs are always wide open. So meaning, with this religion, it's not just something that you see going on in the UK where they're hypocrites. It happens in Malaysia, in America, in the West Indies. It's something we all know.
Is it okay if we show some of the comments real quick?
Yeah, sure.
If it shows, see. Shalom, by the way,
Yeah, listen, I listen to Parash talk there. I'm trying to keep up with what y'all talking about. Who y'all talking about?
So this is Lisa Mercedes saying this is such a big turn off to Islam. Trust what she said. Let me go back. She goes, if you think I'm a fake Muslim, why follow me? What the hell are you looking for? So this is her getting back to everybody, because everyone's getting on their case. Everyone's all up in their DMs, slandering her. And look at this filthy fake Muslim. But all Muslims are fake Muslims, man. That Pakistani man that sells drugs, he's a fake Muslim too, man. You got the nerve because she's black. She's fake. You bringing Islam down. Listen, you been bringing Islam down, man. And making it like she's the worst.
If you can add something on that, and that shows what they think about us. They like you when you can sing and dance, but the religion and like a part that is just a lot much more than just to sing and dance. We don't want you. You can always entertain us, but to be a part of my religion, now you've gone really far now. You've gone way too far. And that's what this shows. Meaning, you know, everyone says, I got Indian friends. No, you don't, man. You have Indian friends as what you want to think, from as long as you don't join the religion, man. You got, you have them as friends from as long as you can sing, you can dance, you show them the latest rap songs, UK rap songs. But you join that religion, now you've disgraced them. Now you've let them down. Why? Because all they think of us is that we're less. And to be in the same religion as them, they're like, nah, I can't have that. And now that is evident right there. Everyone likes her when she's making those awful reggae songs. You know what I mean? Everyone likes her then. But to join Islam, Lisa Mercedes, you're gone far now, man.
So way too far. Even with these Muslims, they don't even accept black people. That's why there's so many different sects in there. You have all the black Muslims is what Salafi, right? Is Salafi? That's right. All the black Muslims is like Salafi, and they say, "Oh, this is the only sect that's not racist." Whereas the Muslims who are Pakistani, they're Sunni Muslims, and then black people ain't even allowed to be Sunni Muslims. And if you are, you're probably the only one there. So all these black people come together and got their own little sect of Islam, where they can't even be with the rest of their other people. Which means what? Black people might as well come here, where we all can be niggas together, and we all can get along. And you're a nigga, I'm a nigga, and God's one too, and so is Christ. We all one. We can all get along, man. Instead of us like having a Chinese man in, a white man in. Lisa Mercedes wouldn't have to feel left out, man. Shouldn't need people being racist towards her, telling her you ain't no proper Muslim. When she can be an Israelite, man, and there's no one can't tell her she's not a proper one because she's born one.
How long you think Islam thing in the last, man? You think they put on the clothes and remember, ladies saw went to the church, you know, what, 5 years ago?
Was it about 5 years?
And I ain't seen a skin out tune in a while, man. Like, you think Lisa says it gonna do the same thing, or
if I can chime in on that, yes. Already she had the headscarf, and look what she had on, some dress that you could see right between it, man. Like, damn, there, you know, ain't nothing to hide. Now you've committed to the
if I could jump in there too, that
doesn't show anything. So again, you know, it's not gonna be long. You know what I mean? Again, she done it around Ramadan time. That's how convenient. You know, you found this Islam religion on the time of Ramadan, where everyone, you know what I mean, where it's a big thing. And you know, you give it a while, she's gonna go back to, you know, believing in Selassie. You know what I mean? It ain't gonna be long, man.
Right. If I could jump in there with you all too.
I'm not sure. I'm not hearing you, sir.
You're not hearing me? Testing one. You hearing me?
Nice. Clark, sir, 1 moment.
Was it off?
Come on, Clark, sir, we can hear you now, sir.
You hear me now?
Color one,
concept.
Okay, Salak. I just wanted to jump in there and say, okay, I don't know who you're talking about, but it's some young girl. You have her music?
Come on, Kansa.
Just play one of her songs in the background or whatever, right? So just so I can catch up to you all. Okay, you saying she recently joined Islam?
Color one, Kansa.
And what are they saying?
All the Muslims are cutting into her, saying she's a disgrace, she's bringing Islam down. Because, you know, she's one of the Nicki Minaj kind of, you know, balloon breasts, you know, fake batty kind of girl. You know what I mean? So they're saying that basically black women are too ratchet for Islam, they're making it look bad and so forth. But, you know, we thought Islam was a religion for everybody. You know what I mean? We thought it was a place where anyone can feel welcome.
I get it. I get what you say. But okay, now this is the thing though. Like, they're talking there all this shit now, but is black people made Islam popular?
That's right.
Arabs did not make Islam popular. It wasn't nobody, you know. Just think what made Islam popular on the western side. But the western side is where the popularity and you know, mainstream media trends really take off. You have trends that start on the eastern side, as you're seeing now with the UK drill beats, like what Pop Smoke had, like those beats that started. That's UK music that's coming over now. But the acceptance of most religions, if not all, come because some misguided brother or sister decided to jump in. You found her music yet?
Come on, so like I said, if I may say, like what you see is true. Like, nobody followed. Like, you don't see people following Arab Islam. You don't see people with Aladdin shoes and, you know, the flying car. People do it because black people make it look cool. You get me?
Right. Ain't nobody wanna, ain't nobody at all want to be that thing, that poor Arab in the desert riding on some camel somewhere, or some dumb nonsense wearing that dress whole goddamn day, speaking all funny. You know what I mean? Beating the woman, beating the slave halfway into homosexuality. Doesn't nobody want to be that? But everybody wants to be that gold teeth wearing thug, that drug selling thug. Everybody loves that image. All the women in the whole world today. Now the European standard of beauty in terms of marketing. You find her music yet? I'll
play now.
Just play it in the background, man. Just play it in the background. Perhaps have been a hater from day one. Perhaps, as long as it's not Barrington TV and Sanchez and Pinchers. Yeah, I mean? Well, let me see if I could get a vibe on what she's saying, because I ain't never heard it broad before. But yeah, I hear it. Just play it in the background. Ain't no sweat. Y'all hearing me?
Like sir?
I say, are y'all able to hear me over the music?
I'll take down a bit.
Yeah, just play it low. You ain't had to play too hard. Right? Just play it low. But what I'm saying is, okay, you have the European standard of beauty, right? Right? You hearing? You have the European standard of beauty, which is what they use on magazines. They use to sell, with all these things like shampoo and perfume and makeup and stuff like that, right? You have that, and then you have what every woman wants to look like once she leaves the house. You understand? Then you have that. You have what every woman wants to look like, when she's going out on a Friday night to leave the house, and when she's about to go out to leave the house. Excuse me. She is not trying to be goddamn, Aladdin woman. She's not trying to be that thing. Burqa. You understand? She ain't trying to be, she's not trying to be that. She is trying to look like Beyonce in the burqa. You get the point? In that hijab, they want to look like Nicki Minaj in the hijab. Under the hijab is a whole strip club under there. It's just like what you said. Under that hijab is diamonds, and every strip club in the world, it's under that hijab. Because once again, our social standard, as Israelites, what we do socially, that sets the trend worldwide.
That's right.
Everybody wants to look like a Black, Hispanic, or Native Indian woman because all women are the best. Every heathen man wants to look like any Black, Hispanic, or Native Indian man, because we had the most style and flavor and swag. We had the most of it. So for them to come now after, we done promoted their religion and made them big, for them to turn on her now, it shows you how much of a bastard these damn people are.
That's right.
It shows you how much of a bastard these damn people are. It's ridiculous. She's simple as hell for even joining them. Was she always a Muslim, or she just joined them recently?
No, so it's just joined them, but came out in the public 2 days ago, and already she's getting all this backlash. You know what I mean? Which is greater than the Arabs, man. In the UK, the Arabs are the most biggest whores. They got the nerve to talk about, you're making it look bad and filthy. You know what I mean? The Somalians are the one. Forget about it.
Listen, even over here, the Somalians and Ethiopians, other Africans over here would tell you that they're the biggest one. They're the biggest whores. They're the easiest women. They're the loosest. The Africans from Cameroon, Nigeria, Congo, all of them, they would tell you that Eastern horn, that push, them, they're the loosest. You get the point? But no, like they gonna act like that, like if they have some kind of monopoly on morality. Like they still got them moral about everything, and you know what I mean? When they're not. But the bigger picture is, if it wasn't for us, nobody would take your religion serious.
That's right.
That's right.
Like we make everything cool. We make every single thing cool. But now you want to turn on her, and this that should be a lesson for everybody, because let's say she now gets a huge following. They would now try to take her in and accept her.
That's
Like
right.
even if she doesn't change how she dress or whatever they complaining about. Let's say she gets a huge following and people start, putting on the burqa and whatever. They would now accept her in because they're really hard. They really, whatever, just like America, whatever money is there, they'll do it. You know what I mean?
So like you said, from mosque. But you see, Islam is Christianity, for what I learned over the years. Like, you remember years back when we was in England and we went to Speaker's Corner.
Right.
Boxing Day.
Mm-hmm.
I thought Muslims don't celebrate Christmas. So
exactly. Right.
Muslims are going to accept her. They're going to say, come as you are. No one. But they're going to because it's Christians.
Exactly. I remember exactly what you're talking about. We went back there the next week. After that first week with that crazy damn Arab or Egyptian or Algerian or whatever the fuck he is. But we went back the next week. We wanted more smoke.
Oh, God.
Right.
We went to Hyde Park and it was empty. I mean, empty leaves on the ground because that weekend was Christmas weekend and they was all inside celebrating the Christmas. So now, they don't have a leg to stand on when it comes to moral ground. You know what I mean? So they're going to beat up on that sister when they should be thanking her. They should be thanking her because our people is what make that Islam acceptable to everybody else. Before that, you always just some crazy, funny talking Arabs. That's what everybody knew. But because of black people, Malcolm X get up and do this finger stuff. You know what I mean? The Nation of Islam, Farrakhan, like they make the thing look so, way better than what the hell they was doing. You get what I'm saying? And we do that for every religion. We do that for forget the white man. We don't make Christianity worldwide.
So like for me,
go ahead.
So even with homosexuality, like Chinese don't want to be a white woman. Chinese want to be a black woman. Like you know what I mean? Like, we run things like transsexuals want to be a black woman, want to push their lip out, snap their fingers.
That's what I'm saying. Listen, a sodomite, a batty boy.
Slack said, wait. Slack said, hold that, please. Don't take the cows.
What you gonna do there?
Slack, look. And for the batty boy coming, let me get some gunshots for that.
Oh shit, Slack, yeah.
Slack, carry on, Slack said.
Yeah, like okay, you so right because when one of them, LGBTQs or whatever, when they want to be that woman, they don't choose to be some white librarian with glasses. You know what I mean? They don't dress like your primary school teacher, right or wrong. They want to look like that. You get the point? Which is okay. We had to understand that the kind of power we have. You understand? That's the kind of power we possess in this place, even in our captivity. You get me? Even in our captivity, that's the kind of power we have. Like we make Rastafarianism popular. You get the point? Like we make it. We took them Ethiopians. We took their culture. Not their culture, but that man Haile Selassie, Tafari Makonnen. I don't even call him Haile Selassie no more. That's Makonnen, right? We take him and then the hairstyle from the East Indians, and we make it clean. When East Indian dreadlocks, brother, it's a rat nest. It's a nest of goddamn mice. But we make it. Go ahead.
Even now, being the UPK, it's hard to get niggas to cut them dreads, man. Brothers coming to truth to hearing them breakdowns, and because we made it so cool over something that was disgusting back in the day, we made it so cool. Sometimes we gotta lose brothers because they don't want to cut them dreads, man. That's how hard, like, you know what I mean? Being an Israelite, we make things popular. You get me, sir?
You're right. You're for sure right about it. We the trendsetters in everything. I don't care what nobody say. Even at the bottom of society, we still set the trends with everything moving. So what for them to alienate the sister now who joined them? And really, let me tell you what it is. If you look at it, I'm sure it's a bunch of women who talking shit about her.
That's right.
I'm sure.
So like you say, the voice got down a bit. Like you say,
Yeah, go ahead.
No, your voice, the volume went down a bit for a second. Sounds a bit choppy.
Excuse me. It looked like I was freezing up for some reason. You know, I just said Batty Man, so you know, they're gonna flag and cut us off real soon. So I'd have some more discipline. You know what I mean? But yeah, so that I think that's what it really is. I think what it really is that they're jealous of her. They're absolutely jealous of the sister. She wrong as hell for joining them, but really they're fully jealous. I'm sure if you really do an in-depth thing of it, it's women. It's women, is Arab women who shaped like a wall that don't want that meat coming up under that burqa, because them Arab men is trying to marry black women, black and Hispanic women, just like everybody else, because of course, that meat is something different. You know what I mean? That meat ain't smelling like camel. Go ahead.
I got it one. Like the guy that you battled in Hyde Park, Shamsi. He said it. My woman's a Caribbean woman.
I can't remember. He said that.
Yeah, kind of like, oh shit, man.
I can't even remember that.
They know what the best of they know, man. They don't want the Indian woman cooking chapatis and them things. They don't want a real black woman, man.
Listen, it's our culture. Like, okay, even the food, even if you want to talk on a food level, curry from the Caribbean and actual East Indian curry, brother.
It's like I said, like East Indians brought curry to the islands, but yet we cook curry better than them. Their curry stinks, but yeah, it's what shit. Stinks, man.
Listen, I remember I had a slavery long ago in DC, and they treat everybody in the office to lunch one day. So it's like every Friday they would go to a different restaurant, and one of the managers or supervisors would buy lunch for everybody, right? So this time they try to go to this East Indian restaurant, and I'm like, well, all right, I'm familiar with curry, I'm good, brother. That thing like paper, I mean literal paper, it was colorful, but it had no taste. And then I started realizing, like, we the one who actually put flavor, we the salt, you know what I mean? Let me hear the Gil songs. I want to hear what she has to say.
All right, come on, Carl, so we're getting to it right now.
Boyfriend like me, come on England. Everything is more with that for me. Always on the car, your boyfriend give me. Try parties like money when I you.
Yeah, no.
Nah,
like that. In love with the right money like that. Instead every girl I feel, but when least I give I return and then I come right back. Them up in the sea, position, you catch feelings. Anytime I wheel, I'm a turn the phone
I don't think Captain Shot he likes it. He's not impressed.
I'm not hearing it. I'm not here. You can leave it playing. I'm just not hearing it. I listen to what she's saying, and I mean, she sounds just like Spice. She sounds like Shensia. She sounds like every Benjamin woman singing. So like,
if you Allah can up her record sales a bit now.
Listen, I'm telling you, she is the most popular woman in the Islam world right now. She's more popular than goddamn Khadijah. You know what I'm saying? I'm telling you, I think that's the real thing. Like, she's coming in there with our flavor, and them women is threatened by her. Now, I ain't seen the comments, but you could go through and scroll through the comments and see if it's just Arab women who just just can't compete. They ain't got nothing to shake. They smell like camel all day. They can't cook. They can't they can't spit no verses. You know what I mean? So they're mad now because all that Mubarak money gonna go to this girl. What's her name?
Lisa Mercedes.
Salak, you say?
Go ahead.
If I could, apparently she's in a relationship with Vibes Cartel as well. I don't know how, but they're in a relationship apparently.
Well, that's it. I mean, the whole Muslim world gonna be saying free cartel.
You might get some Muslim backing.
Exactly. And listen, okay, even as a people are, like, we so unlike these heathens where, okay, they saying how he don't have nothing to do with their culture, right? You could play her music at the same time while I'm talking.
Oh, come on.
Yeah, let's play it in the background. Let's play it, or play it on the computer so it comes through a little bit more clearer. Right? Right. Okay. They're saying how she ain't got no business in the culture. But okay. Meanwhile, all them Arabs is in our culture. Look at missed people. Who does the steel bangles? Steel bangles ain't no yardie. Right or wrong?
He's Indian, but he loves our culture to bits.
He loves our culture exactly. Like they get into our stuff when it's time to make money. But now she want to go and become a, I don't know what they call them in there, sister or whatever. She want to go in there and become one of them, and now it's a problem. Nah, she gotta go both ways. If this make money and pay your money, and I just watched a video with KB. KB is my nigga. I love KB. Listen, man.
Yeah, we got some new music now. That's it. We got some new artists now. We got some new artists now.
Nah, man. Help me out, them goodbye.
Listen, we got some new artists for you now. So some after the live, so I'm gonna send you some fresh new artists.
Listen, I'm telling you, I'm gonna get down with them. But I'm telling you, KB, if he didn't get locked up, nobody would eat no food right now. I'm telling you. Nobody. I'm telling you, Miss was eating food if KB was out. I'm telling you, and they probably would have been homies. I don't know. Because I see he say, you got Safwan and stuff like that. But I'm telling you, KB and Pop Smoke on a track, shit, fire.
But
I just watched a video with KB doing a freestyle from jail, and behind it, there's some Muslim shit hang up. So it's all well and good when they could benefit from us joining them. But this woman coming there and she probably threatening them, them all Arab women, and they having a problem with it. The street had to go both ways, so it can't go at all.
Right.
Like it's high time. Like they should be made to know they can't be riding our coattail like that so goddamn much, man. They, always in everything we do, every time we do something, and never ever wanna, give us the props for it. So that's particularly evil to do that to that sister then, man.
So like I said, if I may, because black people don't really know much about history and whatnot, yeah. What we don't understand is they ain't the original Muslims anyway. The real Muslims is Arabs, man. You got Pakistanis and Somalians saying, she's not a real Muslim, but neither are you, man. Neither are you Arab. Pakistanis ain't Arab. Indians ain't Arab. Somalians ain't Arab. Turks Arabs. But because she's black and she don't know much, she makes like, you know what, I feel bad, you know what I mean? They're the real ones. They ain't the real ones. They ain't Arab either.
That's what she said?
No, but I mean, I see Pakistanis say a lot. They say, like when a black man joins Islam, Pakistani will go under his arm and, take him up as if he knows something. When you ain't a real Arab yourself, Muhammad wasn't your race neither. So, you know what I mean? You're not much of a Muslim he is. Because both you ain't no real Arab. It's like a dunga, say something.
That's right.
Plus, if I may, Asa,
go ahead.
Like, when a non-Arab does his Hajj, they don't even like him. So you could be from Bangladesh, India, and the Arabs don't even like them. So they come over here and act like, listen, this religion, I know everything about it. I'm a part of this. When they go to do their Hajj, the Arabs don't even like them. So it's like they say one thing to us, like, listen, man, we know about Muhammad, we know about this religion, when really in the home of that religion, the originators don't even like Indians, don't like people from Bangladesh. Meanwhile, in the UK, in your face, they make it seem like they're more related to Muhammad, and we should look up to them when real Arabs don't even like them.
It's the whole thing is a goddamn mess. And once again, the only reason it's cool is because of us. The only reason it's flavorful and full of style is because of us. You get the point? Without us, the world can't run. Go ahead.
So I say, is Chelsea your team or Man U?
Oh,
Okay, I don't have a team. I stopped doing that since I was a teenager. I stopped riding into the grave. I realized, okay, let me tell you, when in the world, I was a serious fanatic with football. I mean, a fanatic stats and running down a team, brother.
Slack. If I may, let the world know, yeah. Officer Doggerbar has been nigga when it comes to FIFA. Like, I ain't seen nobody in the world. Slack, sir. I love you, yeah. But Officer Doggerbar, listen, I see Doggerbar wipe the floor with niggas like online in person. And when you came to the UK, Officer Doggerbar,
he struggled.
I don't want to say, but
he struggled.
He's on fire. That's all I gotta say. FIFA.
I mean, okay, it's one thing with the game, another thing in reality. But to answer your first question, I like to watch good football. So whoever is the good team at the time, not necessarily the best team, but a good team, I watch them. With Manchester United, I like to see Pogba, even though he a damn Hamite. I'm convinced now he a Hamite. At one point, I was like, I think he's a brother, and I just get lost in the matrix. But I'm convinced now that is straight up Ham. But him, I like how he plays. So I would follow him from whatever team he play with. Even though Manchester right now is absolute garbage, trash. That team is ridiculous. Well, I say something wrong?
Yes, it damn near blasphemy. Come on, man.
If Mesa, I know they're down now, but back in like 1999 and 98, Manchester United was the best. Man, like they never lost a game in years. But
that's how long ago though. That 90, we thought 99. That's like 20 years ago.
That's like Tupac done his thing in the 90s. It's still valid to this day. That's
people are still listening to Tupac music. When was the last time you watched a 99 Manchester game?
Okay.
You're watching that. You're playing that shit over and over. Come on. You don't even have a Eric Cantona poster in your room. All right, then. Good. So don't nobody care about 99. Like,
but if I may say, even back then, it was us that made them. Windsor, Andy Cole, what's the other one?
Andy Cole. He's a brother or he a heathen?
He's a
brother,
sir, from the West Indies, sir.
No, not Dwight York. Andy Cole.
Okay, Andy Cole's Jamaican, Dwight was Trini.
No. Andy Cole is not Jamaican.
I can Google this shit right now. I remember once you told me he was a heathen. I thought, huh? So Google that shit. The brother's a brother.
I thought he was a brother, but when I keep looking, it points to some of them funny countries like Tanzania or some kind of bullshit like that.
Let me check.
I'm very sure is
some perspective on this here.
The surname Cole, it has to be a brother with that name. I'm gonna give it to him.
Yeah,
I'm gonna give it to him, but with the surname, I'm gonna give it to him.
Wait, get there 1 second. Andy Cole, personal life. See, Cole's father, Lincoln, immigrated to the UK from Jamaica in 1957.
Listen up. You help me out there. You bust a bomb fan the cola. You drop a whole fan the cola.
I was scared for a second, like I'm sure his brother.
Yeah, in the beginning, because I would always look up him. They had another brother, Quentin Fortune, but he's a South African. Remember Quentin Fortune? He was like a right back or a wing back or something. There was a few brothers on the team, right?
The man was black people back then.
Right, but I thought he was a Hamite. I didn't think he was a brother, but I'm glad to find out he's a brother. You know what I mean? Which even make it better because that more proves the point. We made them great. You know what I mean? Like Dwight York and Andy Cole. Okay, Andy Cole was there before, but he ain't had no chemistry because everybody around him was proven. As soon as Ferguson brought Dwight York in, brother, them two light the whole of Europe on fire. That was the best combination for that whole, I mean, maybe 5 years straight. You couldn't stop them.
Man U's on fire, sir. Man U made it. It's on fire in that what season, that area. You know,
for those maybe 3 to 5 years, you wasn't stopping that team. You wasn't stopping that team, and that 99 team was, I mean, ridiculous. That 99 team was ridiculous. You know what I mean?
If I may, you reckon the White York could have fucked up the White York, or nah? You think she missed the performance up?
Say that again.
You reckon Jordan kind of messed up the White York's performance, or nah?
Nah. What happened with Dwight York is something cultural. That's something cultural. Okay, Dwight York he's probably the best in the Premiership at that time. Nobody didn't want to give it to him. Right? You could pull up them pictures too if you want to, just some people.
Brother Line says, "Man U fans, shake my head." You know what I mean?
Who say that?
My brother called the boys, shake his head. I don't know why. Man U's the dads, but
Listen, the boys, listen. I kind of agree with you. Listen, I don't watch no Manchester game if Pogba ain't playing. If Pogba ain't playing and Rashford not playing, I'm not watching. Rashford is my nigga too. I think they're fighting him down big time. I know he a brother. He from St. Lucia or something, right?
You know what
I mean? He's one of the baddest strikers in the world. And I think because he black, they're fighting him down because Michael Owen, remember Michael Owen? Rafa, you could pull up them pictures too, you know what I mean? Just so people know who we're talking about. Michael Owen scored a goal, in what, 98, 97, somewhere around there. And everybody was on this damn devil back like he's the best thing in the whole world. I don't know if you remember Michael Owen.
I remember
the goal he scored was insane. It was an insane goal. But after that, Michael Owen went on to play for Liverpool. He played for Manchester. Did he play for what? Real Madrid? He was with Real Madrid too?
He went to Madrid, and I don't even think he didn't even play that much games there. I don't think he was good enough.
Play that much games there. You know what I mean? Karafi, if you could pull up the goal he scored, I think it was in a World Cup. He came on. It was against Argentina. You're bringing out the old man now. Don't ever talk about that. I call in date of birth, the date, the size boots you're wearing, the position you're playing. Don't get me started on this football and I'm trying to tell you.
So like I say, the World Cup just gone.
No.
It was the 98 World Cup. It was England versus Argentina. Like he came on, he was like 18 or 17 years, something like that.
So like 98 World Cup.
Huh?
You say 98 World Cup?
I think it's 98.
That was France that won that one, yeah?
Yeah.
No,
France won 98. Brazil won 98.
No,
Brazil won 2002.
Brazil won 94.
France, 2002?
France won 98.
Oh.
Yeah, and Beckham got disqualified for. Remember Beckham last year. So he was semi-finals.
No, who got 2002?
Why you all arguing when you have the historian right here?
Oh shit!
Right. France won 98. Brazil went back and won 2002 in Korea. I think who won 2006? I think France again or Italy.
Right. I think France last, didn't it?
Nah, 2006 is when Zidane do that dumb shit and get sent off.
And in his final ever match, remember?
Yeah, they played Italy, and I think Italy won. 2006 was the World Cup right after all that scandal in Italy, all the match fixing. Remember? And that honestly, they say FIFA is a mafia. It's one of the biggest mafias in the world. Everything was to restore Italy's football, because in 2004, 2005, they had a huge match fixing scandal with Inter Milan, AC Milan, all of them paying referees. They say the referee finished the game, he opened his trunk and it's full of money. It's full of goddamn money. And if you remember that year, I think 3 teams went down to the Serie B. AC Milan, Inter, I think Fiorentina, one of them. 3 of them went down to the Serie B. Somebody who stayed up, Juventus, I think, had to start the season with negative points because they robbed the seasons before. Even though they had so much firepower with players, they was buying the games. So if you remember those years, it was rough for Italian football. So they gave Italy that World Cup. Italy didn't have no team to win that World Cup. Any football fan knows that. That World Cup was between France, Brazil, and I believe Germany.
Spain, I believe it was. Was it Spain?
Spain was the next powerhouse. Italy didn't have no team to win that World Cup. They give player the MVP to Cannavaro, a defender. Now, for a defender to get, play, MVP, brother, he has to be outstanding. Yeah, I mean, the only defender I really know who really get that and was worth it was Beckenbauer. That was a long time ago. And because he played, I think, quarterfinal or the final with a dislocated shoulder. If you go back and look him up, look up Franz Beckenbauer. He was Germany's captain, and he played a defender. And his shoulder was dislocated, and he strapped it up. He played the whole World Cup like this, the whole game. You know what I mean? Like something like that. But Cannavaro, come on, man. Cannavaro, a little bald head, half a sodomite Italian. Yeah, they give it to him. But it was to give Italy back some, prominence because of the scandal that happened in the Serie A during that time.
But if I may though say off topic, but on topic at the same time, Jamaica did make the World Cup in '98.
Listen, reggae boys. Listen, reggae boys get the whole Caribbean joy.
God, look at him having it. Come on, man.
Jamaica didn't make the World Cup. The Caribbean make the World Cup. You understand?
Asherites whooped them, gave them a good beating. But the Asherites in Argentina gave them a whooping.
I mean, that game was, it was damage control. it was in the locker room like, all right, fellas, we only going out and getting 2.
But scored a goal. They got 1 goal. I like.
That's okay. That's what I'm saying. Like Jamaica didn't that World Cup. Jamaica didn't just. It wasn't luck. It wasn't. They had a very good coach. They had a coach from Brazil named René Simões. He was a very, very good coach, and he didn't come to Jamaica like, I'm just gonna come for the money, which is what a lot of foreign coaches do when they come to smaller countries. Smaller countries will raise a huge budget because they want to make the World Cup, and them coaches will come for a payday. René Simões didn't come to do that. He came to actually beat people and go to the World Cup. And how he had that Jamaican team playing, man, don't get me started. Onandilo, you all remember Onandilo?
So like I said, I'm so traumatized.
Listen, Google Onandilo. Onandilowe. Brother, if Goliath looked like somebody, I think he would look like him. This was a giant of a Benjamite that played as a striker. I mean, this is a huge nigga.
Yeah, I'm looking at him.
Massive.
I mean, he's a monster. He's a goddamn monster. And he was Jamaica's striker, brother. Onandilo was nothing to play with, and he wasn't slow. He wasn't super fast, but he wasn't slow. He was very skillful for a big man. He could head the ball, he could kick, and he could take you on one-on-one and kill you. You know what I mean? You pop a picture of him, man. Come on, you're robbing money pictures. Come on, song man.
Slack yourself.
Do your job, selector. Do your job.
It's Onandilo.
You had Onandilo. You had Marcus Gale. You had Peter Cargill. You had that's him. You had Theodore Whitmore. Whitmore was like he was like the central midfielder. He was playing the dead center, tall, skinny brother who was dead slow. He was slow like molasses, slow. But skills, he had a ton of skill. You couldn't rush him. He was slow, and they would run into him thinking he's slow, and he would embarrass you. Which one is that? That's Michael Owen?
Cut on, can't say.
I blow it up there, let me see it.
Cut on, can't. Take the time, see more moments there.
Oh, okay. No sweat. It's kind of grainy though. That's the best one they could find.
Yeah, 'cause it's 98, sir. You know, I'm gonna have HD like that. I guess. Oh. Is that okay to play?
Not HD, but HD. You think I didn't hear you?
It's H. It's H.
You think I didn't hear you? Yes, HD. You say
HD, man.
HD for definition.
It's HD.
that's what they say.
H, man.
H.
Nah, it's a hate, but we pronounce it H.
Alright, fucking we would debate this after.
It's by definition. No, it's H.
H.
It's H.
Google's H.
No, it's not. It's H.
Yeah. Pull it back up a little bit back.
It's a lucky as one moment.
Really? It's H for high definition, isn't it? Says who? It's H.
Boy, back in the net.
That's when it was good, but after this.
Yeah, I remember him. But he didn't last long though.
I mean, okay. No. To be honest, okay. He just came on. I think he came on like 2 minutes before he scored this goal, and this gave them the points to qualify. Either the game was drawn, it was a draw game, or he equalized. But he ran past everybody. Look at pace. He was fast. And he scored a goal as soon as he came on, and he was like 18 at that point in time. He was hungry. So he went on to, he could finish. If he gets in front of the goal, he going to score. You know what I mean? Can't take that away from him. He wasn't an exceptional player, but once he get a shot in the box, he going to score. He was that type of player, you get me? And there's a few Edomites that was like that, they wasn't very exceptional in how they, in playing, but you put them in and around the goal area, they would score. Italy had one dude named Roberto Baggio. You remember him? He probably a little bit older. Roberto Baggio was like that, where he ain't doing nothing for the whole 90 minutes, but he's scoring, right? Italy had another one named Inzaghi. You remember Inzaghi? You got to know Inzaghi. He used to play for Juventus. He used to look like he on crack. Just Google him. His name is Inzaghi. I-N-Z-A-G-I.
It's like it's what's his name again?
Inzaghi. Filipino.
Oh, I remember. Is that the one with the long hair, sir?
They all had long hair. The Devils. Yeah, they all look like someone.
Which one you're talking about? I think so. I remember him from FIFA 2001, I believe.
It could be because in that games they were the top men. You could put him up. He looked like a crackhead. He looked like he in the change room like this. All right, he looked just like that. But
yeah, that's the one. Inzaghi, that's the one.
You find him?
Color one, come screen share him now.
Yes, my high stats 2001.
Wait a second.
Inzaghi right there.
Yeah, that's him. Brother, his face was sideways, his lip was kind of funny. Like that first picture there, pull it up. Just pull up one of them.
Third one, sir.
Anyone. He looked like, I mean, don't put up an older picture, put up a picture when he was playing, when he leaned and his face looking hard like a scrubbing boy. Again?
Come on, his computer's a bit slow, but it's blowing up in a minute.
No sweat. You know what I mean? He was one of them that was like that too, where they ain't doing nothing the whole game. They're not helping. It's like the team playing with 10 men. But anything around the 18-yard, brother, he scored. Any ball, anybody miss kick, anybody, he's one of them, they call them men poachers. Like they ain't doing nothing but waiting on just one little opportunity. And they're scoring. You understand? They're waiting on this little opportunity and they're scoring. And they ain't particularly great. They ain't particularly, exceptional players. But the scoring record is what kept them relevant. They're not entertaining to watch. They ain't great. It's not like you're watching, again, like Dwight York and Andy Cole. Like when the men start playing, it was entertaining to watch. You get the point? Like they always talk about Cantona. Cantona did some good stuff, but you not putting him in them two brothers' shoes.
Like I said, you think it's the same way with Beckham as well. You think Beckham's mainly famous for his hairstyles and checking the Spice Girl, or you think Beckham actually got performance really?
Yeah, Beckham is probably one of the he's one of the rare ones who actually have some sort of talent. You know what I mean? Like what he could do with the ball as a dead ball. I don't think anybody in the world at the time was doing it. Yeah, they had a few other men who was, free kick specialists like him. But and his work rate, he wasn't no lazy player. You know what I mean? He work out, he run all over the goddamn field. You know what I mean? Beckham, I ain't gonna really say nothing. I'm too extra about it. Go ahead.
What do you think about Van Nistelrooy? That used to be my guy back in the days, man. He was a goal hanger, but he used to score, man.
Van Nistelrooy was, you see like how Van Nistelrooy would play, and Zaghi was just like that, just more scrappy. Like Van Nistelrooy, he had some composure, he had some class about it. You know what I mean? Like he looked like he knew what he doing. If you ever see Inzaghi play, brother, he looked like he's not supposed to be on the field, but he would score. This nigga would score. He would just score. You know what I mean? So like those men, they's goal poachers, but they're not entertaining. They really is what Esau would buy for the team because they make the team money. You get the point? But you get Dwight York, you get Andy Cole, you get Sterling, Raheem Sterling. He ain't no scorer. But who you paying your money to go watch? Him or give me one of them big white boys who scoring.
Also,
Wayne Rooney.
Nah, people paying money to watch Rooney.
Wayne Rooney's
only scored two good goals. So say, what do you think about Thierry Henry? I'd say he was one of the best of his time. Remember that run he had with Arsenal?
Yeah, he definitely was. He's a brother too, right? I think he's from Martinique. I think his people from Martinique, even though he plays football.
I'm convinced the way he plays football. I'm convinced. Is he? I'm sure he is. I believe he is.
I think his family's from Martinique. Even though he's from France. Played for France, but I don't think he's no heathen. But he's another he's like a legend. You know what I mean? Yeah, he's legendary status because of his technique and skill and shit like that. You know what I mean? And he's a scorer. But shit, with all that, I can't have one good, favorite football team. I ain't one of those who's like I'm a Chelsea man till I die, or I'm a Man United man till I die. I'm like, forget that shit. When them niggas making trades and choosing starting lineup, they ain't considering me. They don't care how I feel. So I don't give a damn about none of that.
It's like I said, you see, with all the football being postponed due to the COVID and all that, yeah. They're saying that apparently there's been a rise in domestic violence. They're saying these white pub drinkers, football hooligans, they ain't seen their favorite team perform. The pub's closed, so they can't watch the match in the pub. So they're coming home and they're beating their heathen wives, man. Taking all the frustration out on their wives, man. You know what I mean? So over a game.
So wait, they're saying is actually the pub men?
Yeah, saying the pub goers, the Jack the lads, white boys. You know what I mean? They're frustrated because they can't see their favorite team play, and there's been a rise in them. I think after Dungabar brought in class one day. They take it out on their wives, man. Beat up their wives and so on.
So lucky so down here, match of the day is UK culture. So no match of the day is on, which is on what Saturday night, Sunday night, shows all the games. So there's none of that. So men are upset about that they can't watch no games, can't watch no football, can't play no football. And then you got this woman in the ear moaning.
And then comes Emma. Did you take out the trash? Yeah, listen, that shit is gonna happen. This quarantine, it lets you know where you are. This quarantine, many people found out if there was parents, if they was married, if they was not married. This quarantine showed a whole lot. Is a glorious thing. It's good for growth. It's good for growth. And that domestic violence, I think that should happen in worldwide. It ain't just UK, you know what I mean? And UK gonna get hit hard because with that part, because of the football is associated with the violence, with the films. You know what I mean? You know, the films. Tell them about the films, for whoever might be listening that don't know what a film is.
The firm is every football team got a firm, you know what I mean, or a stronghold. You know what I mean? A certain pub that will fight for that team, that will take a coach from one city to another city just to fight for that team, man. So the government, to stop people, you know, ban people from certain matches, you know what I mean, give certain fines and so forth. But these firms been happening since I can remember, man. It's like
with the firms, it's been from the 60s where there's just been firms, and of course now they've managed to handle it more. But in the 60s, it got really bad where they will fight in the game on the pitch. They will literally run in the middle and like fight each other like those like old fighting films, like what's the old film
like Braveheart.
Like that concept, like they'll literally run in the middle of the pitch and have big fights, and they managed to handle it more. But the fights even happen even till this day.
Right.
Just that they can't do it at the game, but they'll like speak to each other and fight like in like a bar, a pub, or like a park. So,
They'll
like,
meet up somewhere.
oh God.
They'll meet up somewhere and still fight, because that's
right.
That's the English hooligan in them. The English hooligan is a culture. It's it's a movement. It's it's damn near like a religion. That English hooligan is not just something that takes over somebody. It's like you sign up to be an English hooligan. You know what I mean? It's a religious organization down here. So without that outlet of the football, with all the screaming and yelling, without the outlet of getting outside and getting a good fight on, because after they done punch each other and fracture somebody's eye or eye socket, or them devils lose teeth over the shit, they go in the pub and they drink and sing songs. You know what I mean? So sing all them songs. You'll never walk alone. You know what I mean? They get drunk and they sing the songs and they go home, because that's part of the culture. But now no football. They can't even watch it on TV. And then Emma is talking shit in the airs. Emma got to fall. Emma got to fall. What do you want? She got to go. She got to go.
Come on. Selaksa, if I may, it was a while ago. I seen one white guy, black eyes, face swollen up. It was a game. I mean, he was beat bad, and then he looked at me and goes, "Whoa, I like a really good fight." And like, although he's beat up, he just liked to fight. Like it wasn't concerned if he lost the fight, just that he liked to fight. Like he was swollen, eyes shut, and he's like, "Ooh, I like me a good fight." And then like he just like walked up into some Barca. So like just to back up the point that they just like to fight, even if it's win or lose. Just the fact that they can let it out in a game, sir.
It's just exactly. It's just them wanting to be violent. Remember, UK, y'all don't have guns like how America got guns. So a devil would go hunting and shoot something, or join the cops and shoot innocent civilians, or just go on a mass shooting spree, or just go on the range and take it out on a target. Like there's different outlets, way more outlets here for your rage. But over there, brother, it's you forced to be all proper, and them devils ain't having that shit. They're gonna buy a visa and go to France and know the team going to lose and wreck the damn bar and have a full out fight. And it's not a bad thing. They come back home like, yeah, we went to war. It's something I don't understand them, but that's the culture. That's what they do. So now you take that away from them. That woman in that house, she gonna get it. Because the white woman, she's entitled. She's, she gonna talk to him like she talked to us. He ain't having that. He ain't going for that. He ain't going for that. Listen, give it about 2-3 more years. Meghan Markle gonna come on Oprah and tell you how Harry kicked her down the stairs.
That's right.
Meghan Markle gonna be sitting on Oprah and be like, "Well, I told him, yeah, and I wasn't having it. No, and he just plucked me down the stairs proper.
Like I say, if I must, like these same devils get on black people about, say, oh, how are you gonna fight for a postcode that you don't own? You know what I mean? Senseless killing. When they're fighting over a football team themselves, man. You know what I mean? Ain't that just as stupid?
Good point, man. Good point. Like, I drop your bomb with your horns and things for that. I drop your for that. How you gonna know vex with me over knife crime over postcode when you is cracking people's skull over Liverpool?
Come on, God.
Over a team that in 2 years the players gonna leave. You know what I mean? In 2 years, the squad is not the same. It's a different team. And you literally get cracking people's head open with bricks and pipes over a football team? Over, white man FC. You know what I mean? But of course, ain't nobody in the media to talk about that. Go ahead.
Have you seen some of these football hooligans? Like, these some, dirty yellow teeth, white pub drinkers. And the football players who they're fighting for are millionaires, man. They got a nice Range Rover. You're fighting for them, you're broke. And the footballers who ain't fighting, ain't getting their head bust open, ain't cracking heads open pipes. They're millionaires. You're fighting for the team and you're broke, man. You know what I mean? You're living in the pub, you know what I mean? It's just ridiculous. I never understood it myself. But then they flip it and say, oh, black people are crazy. They're fighting over a postcode they don't own. But you're fighting over a football team that you don't own either. Man.
And you don't own the football team. You just buy a shirt and you Liverpool for life. You are Red Devil for life. Red Devil. Let's go, man, Red. Come on, man, Red. Let's go. And then you're gonna crack somebody's head for that. Where's the hypocrisy? Where was the whole national outcry against English hooligans? Like, black people who stab each other over postcodes did not travel to Amsterdam for Champions League and stab somebody in Rotterdam.
That's right.
They didn't travel to Paris and stab somebody, in Saint-Germain parking lot. You get me? They didn't go to Rennes or Bordeaux and stab somebody outside, Girondin playing. But these hooligans, brother, they'll go to Spain, they'll go to, wherever and wreck a whole restaurant. Not just one person, wreck a whole restaurant. And there was no outcry from the English government or the media or nothing about the hooligan. Like, you have to take away his passport to stop him from killing somebody, and then he'll just kill somebody next door.
That's right.
Go ahead.
If I may, Spain can't stand British travelers, hates them with a pack. They hate British tourists. So every time British come to the country, they fuck shit up. You know what I mean? They can't behave. And this is the same country that's known for drinking a cup of tea like this. The PG.
That's what I'm saying.
That shit. The same country is known for speaking
crumpets and tea.
Yeah. And Spain stand them, locking them up. They say every time they come to our country to start shit. You know what I mean? It's like, if I make also, if you want to call the number, it's 07960 746 784. Give the school a contact. It's 07960 746 784. Contact and be live on the radio show as well. But
if you want to call in, you could call that number, all right? If any way to put it up on the screen, you could put it up too, all right? Even if it's a second.
Yeah, but the same British, nice, elegant history and yeah. These people are the most barbaric people that we know about, man. These hooligans, as they call them.
Hands down, the most barbaric.
The article.
It's like I said, after Dungabar, someone wants to bring out.
I got one of the articles here about the husband that killed his wife.
Go ahead.
Coronavirus murder. Husband strangled wife for 44 years to death after late night argument in coronavirus lockdown. A husband.
Yes. Read it again from the top.
Coronavirus murder.
No. Read it from the top.
Husband strangled wife of 44 years to death.
44 years. Newlywed shit. 44 years.
44 years, brother. He wanted to do that in year one.
Come on, sir.
Listen, think about it. After 44 years, you either grow to love somebody or you absolutely hate somebody.
That's
And
right.
if he did not hate her, brother, he wanted to do that shit since since the honeymoon.
COVID-19, the COVID lockdown was pure. That was back.
So like, yeah, go ahead.
Husband strangled wife for 44 years to death after late night argument in coronavirus lockdown. A husband was today accused of Britain's first coronavirus isolation murder by strangling his wife at their home. Tony Williams, 69, allegedly murdered wife Ruth, 67, in a late night argument after being happily married for more than 44 years.
If
I
I may,
happily married my ass. Go ahead, Ak.
if I may, he's 67. Like, where did he find the energy to even do that? Like, he's old. Like,
Brother,
how
he-
did he struggle?
Listen, he used up. I'll tell you, listen. If he was gonna live till 80, he probably used up 10 years of strength. He gonna die at 70. he probably used up all in the reserve to get on top of that broad chest.
Also, so like you said, next thing as well, before this murder, the UK we was only allowed to go outside whether we're going to work or for exercise. Since this man murdered his wife, they've changed it to that now. If you have an argument with your partner, you're allowed to go out to cool off for a bit. So they said now you can go out and cool off for a bit now.
And murder somebody else. Yeah, murder somebody else. That's right. That's all it is. That's really what they're saying. So don't murder Emma. Go murder Tyrone. You remember Liam Neeson? Liam Neeson didn't know who assaulted his woman. He didn't know it was the truth. All he knew is he was looking for, he said, some black lad. That's what he said, right? I was just walking around looking for some black lad. Because really, they're just a bunch of violent bastards. That's a bunch of violent bastards. He said he strangled her to death after 44 years. Good night, Irene. I just, shit. For this same reason, Moses gave them a bill of divorce. Just divorce the bro. Shit. You wait 44 years to commit murder. Why you just kill her the same night then? Then you waste your whole goddamn life with this woman. And listen, this is how white people are. The newspaper say, what's this newspaper? What's it called?
This one's The Sun.
Listen, the Sun put happily married for 44 years. How? How, Sway? How? How was they happily married? Listen, listen. If it was happily married, the damn thing's supposed to read after an argument. What's his name? Tony?
So like I said, let me just put his name is
Tony something.
Tony Williams.
After an argument with his wife for 44 years, Tony Williams broke the back of his woman in a heated, passionate makeup session. If they was in love, if they was happily married, but they wasn't happily married, brother. They was not. They was not. He was happily married to that football. He was happily married to that damn TV screen. He was happily married to his favorite team. And she just said the wrong thing at the wrong time, and he said he couldn't take it no more. And the hooligan in him come out. But now they want to talk about violence. And how go ahead.
If I may, why whenever they kill, it's understandable. He killed his wife, and now you know what? Because of this, now everyone gets a couple of hours every day locked down to cool off. You know what I mean? Like we kill, you know what I mean? In our ignorance, and no one understands shit. No one understands it, or we don't understand why you do this. They call it senseless killing, meaning we can't make sense of this shit. He kills his wife for 43 years, and they can make sense out of this. Oh yeah, she got his nerves. It makes sense. You know what? In fact, we're gonna give her time to cool off with the lockdown. But our killing senseless. But you kill your wife after 43 years, it's understandable. Like, that's right. There's double standards, man.
That's it. That's the truth. That's the truth. Like they would look at us like we just some kind of uncontrollable animals. And with them, well, it's understandable. It's they not negotiate, but they try to explain away everything they do. But with us, we have to have some sort of moral compass on our forehead. so that we never make mistakes. But them bastards could do whatever. That's why P.S. Morgan called the damn health minister a damn idiot the other day, because what, he spent how much million on a test that didn't work?
16 billion in tests that
B or M?
B billion.
16 billion pounds.
Car.
I didn't know it was that much. So like, give me a minute. So, 16 billion pounds on tests that didn't work. And PS, now he's trying to explain to PS. He's like, let me talk. If you let me talk, I'll explain. Like, he trying to explain. Nigga, how are you explaining that? How you explain? Now, the difference with us is, you know you can't explain that shit. So what you going to...
If I may, we the I.S.U.P.K got something that the health secretary don't have. We got no excuses, man. Let you wait 16 billion.
Real quick, or horn or whatever it is. Now, don't wait for it. You gotta get that horn on speed dial. You gotta drop that horn on speed dial.
It's lucky, so you weigh 16 billion in the UPK. You're gonna be the biggest council. Like, I dread to think what happened to you. I'm scared. I'm scared for you.
Listen, you don't bring the receipt back from the campus. There's no explaining it. It's Salakia, I messed up. The scripture say, what does the scripture say in Proverbs? A soft answer turneth away wrath. Then that's in the Bible. The minute you come in there and say, well, listen, no, it's not my fault, but bro, it's best to just fall on the sword, turn the sword upside down and fall on it. Just die. It's better to do that shit. But he weighs $16 billion over tests that didn't work because they're so greedy for money. What they really wanted to do was make money off the test. With this devil that we under in captivity, everything he does, every single thing he does is for profit, right? The scriptures say hold on, let me get that one. Somebody look up, no more shall the liberal be called generous.
No more shall the bountiful.
Isaiah.
No more shall the liberal be called bountiful, and the chill be called generous, something like that.
Is it Isaiah
32 and 5.
If I could get us that one scripture, all right?
Come on, concept.
Isaiah chapter 32 and verse 5. The vile person shall be no more called liberal, nor the child said to be bountiful.
Right, the vile person is no longer going to be called liberal, or the child going to be called bountiful. Because at one time, you would call them bountiful. You would call them liberal, meaning they're free, like how Democrats are in America. What would be the equivalent of a Democrat in the UK? Not the Tories. The Tories is the conservative type, right? The rich.
The conservative and Labour.
The Labour is conservative. The Tory is the other party, right? Tory is the more progressive, the one who would allow homosexuality and stuff like that.
Color one concept.
All right, so the Labour would be like equivalent to the Republican in America, right? So at one time, your politicians and your leaders, or our oppressors, we would look at them like they were so generous and so kind and bountiful. But the time is coming where they would be no longer called bountiful. The vile person would no longer be called bountiful, and they are vile. We looking at them like, he's, the head of the NHS and this and that. And this nigga weighs $16 billion. $16 billion. And just what? Weeks before, Boris was talking about deporting people because it's a strain on the economy. Well, send this nigga back to wherever he from. Go Ancestry.com, DNA.com, find out where the hell his grandfather came from and send his ass back. Because he just weighs 16, not 100, not 1,000, not 10,000, not 100,000, not million, but $16 billion. You sure it's $16 billion? I can't believe it.
Everything. Is it million?
I believe it's millions. Sir.
It had a million. Even that
millions too much. It's million.
Yeah, even that is egregious, sir. Even 16 million pounds is egregious, sir. 16 million pounds is a beginner's contract for some, football team. You know, 16 million pounds is a small budget for, you know, who's the last team in the Barclays right now?
Probably Villa.
Villa or Southampton.
Birmingham City or one of them.
Cardiff
Villa,
or Wolverhampton, one of them teams.
Or Walsall, one of them ones.
Yeah, one of them teams. That's their transfer budget.
Yeah,
They can go buy 2 or 3 players with that budget. And this nigga just wasted on the whole country for some shit that didn't work. Understand? And would not fall on the sword. That's why I said no longer will they be called liberal. They're ridiculous. Ridiculous with it. It's like ridiculous. Go ahead.
And they made ventilators that don't work past a couple of hours. When that's basically useless because you need ventilators for more than a couple of hours. So I got a call. Is it okay we take that?
Go ahead.
Hello?
Hello.
All right, Shalom. This is sister that had the COVID-19.
Yeah, that's correct.
All right, stop, sir. Can you hear the sister correct, sir?
Yeah, I hear her real clear.
Okay, so I know you don't want to give your name and so forth. So this is a sister that had the COVID-19. Could you tell me how the COVID-19? You know, everyone knows about COVID-19. You want lockdown for it. Could you tell me your experience with COVID-19? Like, you know, how it felt. How it felt. How was the government good to you? Was the healthcare that you received, was it good? Did it help you during this?
Well, to be fair, I personally work within the healthcare profession, which is how I contracted it.
Okay, so the sister says she works for the NHS, and that's how she got it in the first place. So hold on, I thought they were meant to be giving you PPE, protective personal equipment.
You do have protective.
So let's stop me there. So you went for the NHS.
Yeah.
They're meant to make sure you don't get it in the first place. So how did that happen?
Well, just with anything, it can't be completely ruled out.
Mm-hmm.
At some point, you will be exposed to the virus, just like anybody.
Okay, then I hear that. So basically, so what you're telling me is, so all these people that's wearing face masks and aprons, are they basically wearing that in vain? Then is that what you're telling me?
Not in vain. It minimizes. It doesn't completely eradicate.
So, like I say, if you want to chime in.
Yeah, I'm listening to what she's saying. I understand what she's saying. She's saying, Shalom is also too. I want to be rude, but it seems like what you're saying is that is not that it doesn't stop the virus, and it's not a useless tactic, but it minimizes transfer.
Yeah, that's what you're saying, sir.
That's correct.
It makes sense, but nevertheless, because you know, if you're essentially in a working environment with different people coming and going every day, it's kind of hard to minimize transfer because you're being exposed all the way around, regardless, right?
Yes.
I got you. If I could ask you too, sis, and I want to say, thanks again for calling in. A lot of people, wouldn't like to, call in and say, okay, they had the coronavirus or the COVID-19. But I think, especially for us as Black people, we need to talk about stuff that happens in our community so we learn from it from each other. Because we can't really rely on our oppressor to help us. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So if I could ask you, like, okay, how was it with the symptoms when you first got it?
They kind of came out of nowhere. It was just, I had the cough that came out of nowhere. I had no money. I was on shift. I started coughing. I continued the shift. One of the nurses gave me some paracetamol because I had a headache. I went home and came back the next day. I still had the cough. And I got sent home then because I felt really unwell. And since then, I've been off.
I got you. And okay, now with that said, like, how was the treatment from your employers as you were off? Like,
from the manager, who at this time you're having to be referred from your manager in order to be tested. They're not actually testing key workers at that point, but now they are. So anybody that's a key worker now can actually be tested, and their family.
I got you. So initially, they wasn't even bothering to do it. They just, you essential worker or a key worker, and they want you to come to the job, come to the slavery and perform. They want, in other words, they want you to pick cotton regardless of what's going on in the field.
Yes.
This is the oppressor we work under. This is the oppressor we work under. Meanwhile, like they spending $16 billion on something that did not even work. And which is why, like, okay, like this coronavirus is a blessing to us all. And even though I know, sis, you probably saw it. Say that again.
I definitely agree with what you said. I think it is a blessing.
You see, and she had it. You know, that should tell you something. Come on, you're sticking, man. Come on, Ak. Going away by your testimony there.
I'm overwhelmed. Like
I feel you, brother, but overwhelm me with some effect. Says, let me ask you, from your point of view, I'll give my perspective after, which is, of course, from our organization, the Israelite School of UPK. But from your point of view, sis, why you say it is a blessing? Like, well, what happened that made you realize this is a good thing?
I think in myself, I've been able to use this time to self-reflect. I feel like the world is healing, nature's healing, and the air is cleaner, there's less pollution, there's lots of stuff going on. I've been able to focus on myself a lot more, instead of doing the same routine and having to work. That's what I think. I feel like I've been able to heal and have a think, and self-reflect on how I'm living, how to live better, how to be more healthy. And I feel like if I wasn't given this chance, I probably wouldn't have been able to do it.
You wouldn't be able to do anything. That's the truth. And it says if
you know what I mean? So it never stops.
Right. I know what you mean. That's how life is for us, because we are the slaves of this empire. Whether you're in America, whether you're in England, whether you're in Netherlands, in the Caribbean, we all are slaves under our oppressor, and our days are longer than his days, and our checks are shorter than his checks. So let me ask you this too, sis. Do you have children?
I don't have any children. I have a partner.
You're married.
And also that's been it's been a big impact, because obviously feeling that I already work in a infectious environment with sickly people on a daily, but to be able to think that I'm putting him at danger is really a big burden that I'm carrying.
It's stressful. It's mentally stressful, which is another thing that our oppressor is not ever addressing. Like, they're talking about all the physical ailments, the symptoms, how bad it could get, but they never. Say again.
Anything I'd say, psychological, emotional, and strains of the virus as well. The isolation itself.
Exactly.
Is a big burden as well. It's something that you're battling every day, and it can't be silly.
Exactly. It's a mental strain. But they look at us, our oppressor, this so-called European, this white man who rules over us, right? Their medical field was based in slavery. It was based on experiments on the slaves, cutting slave women open. Like, I always reference this doctor called J. Marion Sims, right? He's a doctor that's both known in the Western and Eastern Hemisphere, because at one time his practices were so horrendous that they would not allow him to practice in America, and he went to England. And then he came back to America, and he helped found that medical company called Pfizer, which is a pharmaceutical company. But this doctor, J. Marion Sims, he is accredited as the father of modern gynecology, right? That OBGYN that the world has today, that women of all races go to, is attributed to the abuse the slaves had to go through under him, where he would cut women open in the name of science to study their insides. And that's how you have modern gynecology. All his tools that they use today is what he used on women without anesthesia. So now, coming from that background, our oppressor, his mentality towards us, and this is documented everywhere. This is kind of almost common knowledge that Black people, the descendants of slaves, have a higher threshold of pain than the average so-called white person. So from back then, they would say he's not really hurt or she's not really hurt. They're like animals. They could take pain. And from that, it gendered the type of thought pattern of not prescribing pain medicine to us, not being considerate when our lives are at risk. But when it comes to them, they get time off, they get pain medicine. And I'm sure you all heard of the opioid epidemic, where white people was being hooked on prescription drugs. That comes from that. They wouldn't give us the medicine when we're really in pain and we have to go to work and clean the floors and drive the buses in full out pain. But their little sons and daughters have a scratch and they get prescription medicine and now they become drug addicts. It's the same premise as to why they force us to be essential workers and go in there. And then after you realize that Black people are starting to suffer more from this coronavirus or this COVID-19 than the average white person, it's not because we are more susceptible to it physically, but because we are the slaves of this empire. And the things they force us to do and put up with and then deny us proper medical care, it makes it worse. It's like you shoot a white person, they go and they get the bullet removed and get medical care. You shoot a Black person and you put a plaster on it, give him paracetamol and send him home. Who's gonna die?
Yeah.
The Black person. It doesn't mean that we are weaker or that bullets affect us more. It's because we are really the slaves of this empire. And what you said is that, you know, you're working so long and, you know, now they're making you work and you might infect your husband. You might go home one day and he might get it. And just that mental stress is enough to send you insane. But yet still, we are forced to function in this society as normal as could be. That is absolute insanity.
That's right.
That's
You know, it's true because it's exactly how I felt. I didn't feel right. However, I felt like I needed to go in the next day in order to show them that I was actually that ill, that I couldn't work.
Exactly.
And I felt like I needed to show them. I couldn't just phone in and say, I'm not well enough to work because I didn't think they would believe me and it would affect my pay.
Right. And now you should not have to make that decision after 400 years of slavery to build the queen her throne. You shouldn't have to make that decision after sacrificing your grandparents in the Windrush to rebuild their country. You should be able to say, listen, I think I may have the coronavirus. I'm sick. I'm calling in. No, but because of their society and their culture, they say we lazy and we don't like to work. So you know if you call in, they're going to say you're making it up and that they're going to dock your hours. So now you have to take your sick self into your community, stand at the bus stop, possibly infect other people, get on the bus, infect the driver, infect passengers, get off the bus, infect the security guard, just to show them that you're sick. And then you leave 10 people in your wake, and then they turn around and blame us for spreading the coronavirus when it's just because we live under their oppressive empire. When Sally and Emma and Becky could just call in, and half of them don't even call, they send an email. They send an email and say, I'm sick, and that's that. It's ridiculous. It's absolutely ridiculous.
So like I said, for me,
go ahead.
This is just like slavery. In slavery, the Black woman will have a baby and she'll be back on the plantation for tomorrow, the next day. And it's like,
wow.
It's like, what more does a Black person need to get there off work? Like, do we have to be dead? Do we have to have one leg bleeding
I feel that way.
For our president to say, you know what, I think you need to get off work, you know. We got corona, and we feel bad for not going to work. Like, oh shit, what's the word coming to you? That we feel bad that we are sick. That's how rough it's becoming.
That's how rough it is. Imagine you sick. And listen, I've heard the symptoms vary from the coughing to the headaches to dysphoria, meaning you dizzy and you passing out, to diarrhea, vomiting, to can't breathe. Imagine you going through that whole spectrum of symptoms, and the only thing on your mind is not to go get some rest, is not to drink some water, is not to go to the hospital, but let me call my slave master to ask for a day off. Brother, that's the only thing on your mind.
That's how it is.
Say that again?
I said it sounds ridiculous, but that's exactly how the system is.
That's exactly how it is. And listen, if I could, I don't know how much of what you know about the brothers in Birmingham with Captain Parashti and Officer Karafi and Officer Dumgaba and what we do at the I.S.U.P.K. But this is why we are so extreme about our job. We are so extreme about, the Bible and the laws and obeying the Lord, because our people living in a crazy house thinking it's normal. Like, you see how she just said, like how you just said, it's crazy, but that's how it is. It's like we are trained to accept that as being normal. When that is not normal, that is absolutely not normal for somebody to do. And the fact that we have to go through it after serving them, I could damn near half understand it if we were rebellious towards them and we fought them and killed their people and they conquered us. But we only served this empire. We all served them. Our mothers served them. Our fathers served them. We serving them till this very day.
Yes.
And still, they would look at us like, oh, you calling in because Boris say stay home, not because you sick. Because it's absolute. How do I know Boris sick? Maybe Boris lying.
God.
Maybe that old heavy voice, crackhead looking prime minister you all got is lying.
Don't get the hair, sir.
Listen.
The hair's all fucked up.
See again? And his hair, an old mop head. Maybe he should come into work and get on TV and show us all that he's sick. How about that? But that doesn't happen for them. Boris just say, yo, I'm sick, I'm quarantining. We don't know if he's sick. Boris could be in Ibiza right now. Right now. You get the point? The other one, the minister in the NHS, he say he not taking a pay cut, he'll work longer hours. Who see you working, nigga?
Matt Hancock said maybe.
Unless you come in and clock in your card in front of me, I don't know you're working.
That's right.
I have to take your word for it, but you can't take mine. My woman had to go out 5 o'clock, 6 o'clock in the morning and catch the bus, and the buses ain't even running regular hours. The bus is running once every hour. You reach late for the bus, you late for work. So now you're late and you're faking sick, and you have to go prove you're sick. You see how crazy this shit is? It's crazy. It's literally crazy, bro. It's crazy, sis. And listen, sis, I thank you for calling in for sure and letting us know firsthand of your experience. And I pray you and every other Black and Hispanic person in the UK find the I.S.U.P.K. so our eyes could be opened. Because the things you said is actually true about having rest. You didn't have the stress on your mind. You was able to, spend time with your husband more. Is he an essential worker, or was he able to be home with you as well?
Sorry?
I say your husband, was he an essential worker, or was he able to be home with you as well?
No, he's a chef. So he's been off for a little while as well.
Good.
I'm working.
That's good. Listen, it's good he's off, and it's good you got some time off, because you all needed it. And listen, say again. Say that part again, sir.
We're stronger as a couple having this time.
Give her a hand, man. Give her a hand. Listen, you see why the Muslim woman mad at the Mercedes girl? You see why, Karathia? You see why? Because this is the type of woman we have in our nation. And okay, sis, I don't know how much you know about us again, but according to the Bible, we believe the God we serve is in control of everything. That Satan doesn't control anything, but Satan works for the Lord. And evil, what we consider evil, is the Lord wills it to happen. And we believe the Lord brought this plague because it's prophesied in the Bible. He brought plagues in Egypt when we were slaves in Egypt. Under Moses, a ton of plagues with Pharaoh. And it was because Pharaoh did not want to give us rest from our labor for 3 days. We asked Pharaoh for 3 days rest so we could go serve the Lord. Pharaoh said no. And then the Lord brought the plagues and gave us rest. This plague of this coronavirus was designed for you and your husband to get closer.
That's right.
You understand?
Yeah, I know you did it.
This for you. The Lord did this for you. Now look at the flip side. You and your husband are both descendants of slaves that served this empire. And in this quarantine, you and your husband got closer. Meanwhile, we just read a story about Tony, who murdered his wife for 44 years in the quarantine.
That's right.
There's two old white people, two old oppressors. One is 69, one is 70. No, 69 and 67. And they got in an argument. And instead of finishing the argument with, Karate, what does he like to drink? Magnum and Guinness?
Oh, white people usually Heineken, is it? Heineken. Stella.
Instead of finishing the argument with some Moscato and Netflix and chill, Tony murdered his wife. But you and your husband was able to get closer in the spirit of the Lord. Blessing from the Lord. It's a blessing to get sick. And this is the type of empire we live in, where the only time we could get rest is when we get sick. Like black people are famous for, yeah, man, if I get hit, if I get into an accident, it would be good because I could get some money. If I slip and fall and break my foot, I ain't gonna be mad because I could get some money. But meanwhile, our oppressor, he gets sick. He wants to go back to work because he needs to make money. We need to rest.
Yes.
Our life is so full of labor. It's so full of serving them. We don't get no rest. We serve them so much, they get to rest their whole life. Well, now the tables is turning. Now they don't get to rest. Now the minister of NHS, he got to work 24 hours while this sister gets to lay up in the bed with her husband.
That's right.
That's right.
That is what we serve. Go on, sis. Go lay up with that brother and make some babies, man. Come on, man. Get that baby. The Lord has given this. And listen, sis, if I could, pray for more plagues. Pray for more of them. Pray for more diseases and more viruses to come. Because that's the only time we get a rest from serving them. That's the only time we get time off and they don't. And listen, they turn around and pay us. I don't know how things is in the UK, but in America, Trump just give everybody $1,200. Now, that's small money. But in our captivity, that means something. You understand? How was it over there? Parasha, you're getting anything over there? Boris giving you all anything? A P?
Arthur, the only thing that you can do, if a company you work for had to shut down, they can apply for a furlough law, which means like they'll pay you 80% of your wage. That's it.
That ain't good enough. That ain't good enough. And tonight when you all go home after this, you'll get on your knees and pray for more.
That's right.
Pray for something. Listen, pray for the virus to creep up in Buckingham Palace. Let that virus breach the doors. How Miss say it? Buckingham like Palace. Let the virus go in there like
Buckingham
pray for it more so that they pay you to stay home like Trump is paying people here. Because that's what they need for any sense of humanity to come in the earth. You know what I mean? And Sissy, listen, you thank the God of Israel. You may not know him too well, but this is your power. You are Israelite by blood. Your parents served slavery under these devils, under this oppressor we have. And the Lord has promised vengeance for it. And this is the beginning of vengeance.
That's right.
Coronavirus is the beginning of it. Don't worry. You're going to have many more free days, sis. You're going to have free days when these devils are going to be your slaves and your chambermaids, and you wouldn't have to lift a finger. But in the meantime, you pray for more plagues. Pray for the Lord to show you the truth and where to go and where to walk and who to believe in and what to believe in. And pray for more hurt. Pray that this place gets hurt more. Imagine England ain't giving you all no money, but America is. When England's sitting on so much diamonds and gold and riches and oil, England have billions of dollars of Venezuela money right now. And they wouldn't give nobody no money. Well, that all that means is that more people need to get sick.
That's right.
That's right.
And more people need to get sick. So more sisters like this could get time off from serving in this empire and now could be with her family. That's all this means. Pray for it to come, to pray for more to come, for worse to come. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Definitely. You know what I mean? Anything else you wanted to say, sis?
No, I'm just thanks for the listening, everybody.
Most I appreciate you calling in too, sis. You know, check the brothers out anytime, whenever you're ready. You and your husband, you're our family, whether you know it or not. You're our blood relatives. You're here. Tell your family, tell everybody who you know that's Black, Hispanic, or Native Indian who we are, so we can get together and collectively pray to the Lord to bring the return of the Black Plague. That's what I want. I want the return of the Black Plague. Let the River Thames turn into, red. Let Big Ben fall. Let Buckingham fall. Let everything fall so that Black people could rest.
Thanks, guys. Thanks for listening.
All right, shalom, sis. How
Shalom.
Shalom, sis.
Like I said, if I could, what's bad about it too is that they was going to deport a lot of us from the West Indies, and then now because of the coronavirus, they said that they're not, because many of them did work for the NHS. So they never said they're not going to deport them anymore. They said that they're going to hold on to them. So now what's bad about it is once this is done with, most likely they're going to deport them eventually.
Listen, that's what they think. That's what they think. They think they're going to deport everybody. Listen, first of all, give the Lord a hand for ending deportation. Give him a hand. Drop a horn, drop a bomb, whatever you got there on deck, right? Give the Lord a hand for ending the Windrush. You get the point? Ending that whole Windrush deportation. Now, we'll see what happens. Listen, the Lord is a gangster, The Lord is a straight up gangster. But what I've noticed is the Lord is a brother first. He's your father, but he operates like a brother. He's not a bully. He's not a bully. He's not going. You don't think he could just end it all in one swipe? He could. The same thing he did with Pharaoh. He gave Pharaoh enough chances to get right. Who's that, Shamgar?
Easy at the phone. How much is
Hold on 1 second, Shamgar. Hold on 1 second, all right? We're coming right back.
These devils over here, they don't understand. I mean, our brothers and sisters, they don't understand, man, that we are under the oppressive system, man. What I want to bring out is so heavy, man. So
Christ, man. That's the truth.
Christ.
That's it. Hold on the line, Shamgar. Don't go nowhere yet, all right? But like what I was saying, the Lord can end it in all one swipe. But if he does, what would people say? What would the earth say?
So like the Lord, it likes to flex a bit. The earth will say, it was we did it, we fixed it.
No. Okay, I'm saying, think about it like this. Think about a father. A father, he has a child, playing football in the other room with his brothers, and then something breaks, right? And then okay, before the thing break, the father comes in and takes the ball, put a knife in it, and air the ball down. What would the children say to the father?
He's a bully, you know. He's a killer.
Extreme. You didn't give me no chances. You could have given me a chance. You could have just talked to me first, right? Well, the Lord is talking now. He sent you a text message. He gave you a phone call. He sent you an email. He knocked on your door. He pleading with you. And you're still not going to do it just like Pharaoh. And then comes the angel of death. You understand? That's what's going on right now. Like the Lord is fair. You will never be able to charge him for not being fair. You would never be able to look to him and say, well, you didn't give me a chance. Nigga, you had many. You had many. You had years of chances. You had many. Boris. You had many. You had many chances. No problem. Now, let loose all the plagues.
That's right.
Let loose all the plagues. Hold on, Slakia. Let me put it in right now, just in case you all don't know what's going on. Hold on. Right? Let me put it in right now.
I'll be booking them like Palace.
That's how the listen. That's how the coronavirus going in England right now. The coronavirus pulling up like what a pussy cloud.
True sound addict. 24 Cali, don't make me have to grab it. Cabbage, niggas. That's another slapping. Niggas thinking that I'm famous, that I won't slap it. Nigga, I'm a batty. Erdington Savage, yeah, you call this modern warfare. When we don't attack it, clicking and clacking, that's burning through his jacket. Gangster in the morning, gangster in the evening, gangster in the morning, gangster in the evening, gangster in the morning, gangster in the evening, gangster all the time. Yeah, I'm back and I'm attacking. Nah, I ain't capping. Open got it cracking, get your vanished from a napping. Bare nerves racking, ramming, carjacking, call it lifetime stacking. Yeah, the candy's in the air now. Got the tracking, 27 mean bricks, still brought the packing. Pop, passing, catch you lacking with my cannon. Birmingham assassin, yeah, burning with my passion. Gangster in the morning, gangster in the evening, gangster in the morning, gangster in the evening, gangster in the morning, gangster in the evening, gangster all the time. Gangster in the morning, gangster in the evening, gangster in the morning, gangster in the evening.
Coronavirus in the morning, coronavirus in the evening, all the time. That's what's going on. COVID in the morning, COVID in the evening. I want to see COVID in Buckingham Palace. That's what I want to do. You understand? That's what needs to happen. Where's Shamgar? He there?
Shamgar, you there?
Come on, Pauline Sham. How is it? Shamgeezy?
Shamgeezy?
Not 50. He ain't 50 no more. Yeah, 500 now, straight out of London. Check in from London, huh?
It's too warm, but you know, me and Brooke tell you how one your house shot that my slave they be paying me, so you know what I mean. But many of the brothers that I know, they still have to be essential workers, you know what I mean. They gonna be put through that same thing, like that system.
Oh man,
that's rough. That's rough. Like
if I may,
go ahead.
Like Boris Johnson and Prince Charles had COVID-19, and you know they got better from it. They got well, and everyone was like, "Oh, thank God." I was like, "Well, of course they're gonna get better from it, man." You know what I mean? Like you think they're gonna give them the best ventilators? You know what I mean? Who we need to be scared for is blacks, Hispanics, Native Indians, because we're not gonna get ventilators. We're not gonna get the best health. Boris will be fine. Prince Charles will be fine. The day he caught it, I said he'll be fine. You know what I mean? Everyone's like, "Oh, thank God, Boris is cool." I was like, I knew he'd be cool, man. Who we need to pray for really is our own people.
That's right.
We're the people who ain't gonna be cool, man. We need to, the sister who just called, that's who we should be thankful who's alive. You know what I mean? Because her life, she could have been dead. But
exactly. That's what we should be giving thanks for, because Boris have his medical team to help him. We don't have nobody but the Lord.
That's right.
But the Lord. And listen, in addition to everything the sister said, what's the blessing behind it is black people are being humbled by this whole situation.
That's right.
That's right.
Humbling a lot of us. It's putting us in a position where now the world is not moving how it normally was. So you don't know what's going to be your last meal. You don't know yet, how things going to go. The cupboard's starting to get a little bare. But you know this ain't the end, so you got to keep going. We're going to be more hospitable towards one another, more brotherly and sisterly towards one another. Above all, we're going to start to recognize that the Lord is real. Like there's power controlling this. Go ahead.
If I may, like Egypt was the greatest superpower in the world, and nowadays Egypt are just some Hamites, eating mud. And just like today in England, like Primark used to make 190 million a month.
What?
How much? 750 million a month. And now, thanks to God, Primark makes nothing, zero. And that's the Lord, man. So you're all high and mighty now. But the Lord made you.
Wait, hold on. Stop right. 170 million pounds.
750 million a month. Primark.
750 million pounds.
Sucks. If I may, Primark is so crazy. They don't have online shopping. It's all in stores. It's so crazy. If you send things back, it will cause too much confusion because there's so much people sending things back and forth. They only have indoor shopping, and they're making 750 a month, and they don't do online shopping. So through the lockdown, they can't make money, and now they make zero. And the Lord did that, man.
That's right.
That's
the lucky say for cool.
That's a ridiculous amount of money. Go ahead.
So lucky say if I could also with that Primark, then put the biggest one in Europe right where we used to do camp, and that one's shut down as well now. The same people where they said we can't preach about, we can't do our speakings outside of there no more. That one's shut down as well now, and that's the biggest one in Europe. Primark.
It's like a Target. Primark's like the equivalent of Target. And the biggest one in the UK is in Birmingham, where we do our speakings.
When we went to Manchester, there was one on the corner.
And there's one right behind us in Brum, where we speak all the time.
Okay, but it's shut down now.
They don't do online shopping, so they can't make nothing. If they do online, then they could make a bit of money, but they don't, and they make for 750 million to zero.
Look at that, and the Lord done took all the money. You know what I mean? And the thing about these heathens, they're so full of lust. Okay, the average Israelite who's slaving, even if they're selling drugs, he's gonna put away a certain portion of that money. He's not gonna live it to the last dollar. Brother, these heathens, they live close to that last dollar. So once that money ain't coming in no more, because of their lust is it makes them spend more. They have to spend that money on cocaine. They have to spend that money on, flying girls to, Arab Emirates. You know what I mean? They have to spend that money on the boys if they're homosexual. They're so full of lust that money gets eaten up in the lust. And if that money ain't coming in, then that's that. They can't do nothing no more. Where we at? Let's run this one more time.
Can't walk. I'll be booking them like Palace, popping on my chalice. True, so I'm an addict. 24 pallet, don't make me have to grab it. Cabbage, niggas can't manage. That's another slapping. Niggas thinking that I'm famous. That I'm slapping. Nigga, I'm erratic. Erdington savage, yeah, you call this modern warfare. When we don't tap it, clicking and we clacking. That's burning through his jacket.
Gangster in the morning, gangster in the evening, gangster in the morning, gangster in the evening, gangster in the morning, gangster in the evening, gangster all the time.
Yeah, I'm back and I'm attacking. Nah, I ain't capping. Real life rapping, switched it up and got it cracking. Get your badness from a napping. Bare nerves racking. Ramming, carjacking, call it lifetime sacking. Yeah, the cali's in the air now. Got the tracking. 2017 bricks, still brought the packing. Pop, passing, catch you lacking with my cannon. Birmingham assassin, yeah, I burn them with my passion.
Gangster in the morning, gangster in the evening, gangster in the morning, gangster in the evening, gangster in the morning, gangster in the evening, gangster all the time. Gangster in the morning, gangster in the evening, gangster in the morning.
can't walk around the hood, not good round. I was down and out, but I'm good now. If you saw my last check, then you would frown. So much drip around my neck, yeah, I could drown. Set the tone, look a new form. Yeah, I'm in the new zone. Just trying to zoo for the root home. Set the tone like a new phone. Yeah, I'm in the new zone. Just trying to zoo for the root home.
Gangster in the morning, gangster in the evening, gangster in the morning, gangster in the evening, gangster in the morning, gangster in the evening, gangster all the time. Gangster in the morning, gangster in the evening, gangster in the morning, gangster in the evening, gangster in the morning, gangster in the evening, gangster all the time.
Have you been heard the parts?
Cause them lose them senses or something. Something wrong with them. Something wrong with them. Them lick their head. They must lick their head. Something wrong with them. Something wrong with them. Water for them, shot a spin like gala wine fast. Everybody got to okay, good to fly past. Skin get a fire vampire price fast. Man a run and a lick up in the glory to God, glory to God. I just see a gala fire that I sing. They got two clipper rapid and they broke fire bing. Lucky making drop some checking pocket. The boy they even the fuck of them lose them senses or something. Something wrong with them. Something wrong with them. Them lick their head. They must lick their head. Something wrong with them. Something wrong with them. Water for them, shot a spin like gala wine fast. Everybody got to duck it, good to fly past. Skin get a fire vampire price fast. Man a run and a lick up in the glory to God, glory to God. I just see a gala fire that I sing. They got two clipper rapid and they broke fire bing. Lucky making drop some checking pocket. The boy they even a walk with a matic. I just feel it, the pussy did a carry. Water for no step out and knock it running. Man I'm really, I was sit down and grabbing. We do the same thing. I have to know in this. Me have no rifle and so much rifle and so much matic. Cause I wanna go that boy 2 matic. Shot a spin like gala wine fast. Everybody got to duck it, good to fly past. Skin get a fire vampire price fast. Man a run and a lick up in the glory to God, glory to God. I just see a gala fire that I sing. They got two clipper rapid and they broke fire bing. Sit down on them it's like it is an office. Cause she don't want to load SLR broke calice. I'll see rapture this to blood clot. Man of vanish 6 months and lost with the M1 and couple calish. Do you feel it? I have the lady bodies. Me get the grace place. I'm down in the valley. Shade like a brook for the Lord. Tell you sorry. Before turn up some blood clot. Gonna carry. Shot a spin like gala wine fast. Everybody got to duck it. Good to fly past. Skin get a fire vampire price fast. Man a run and a lick up in the glory to God, glory to God. I just see a gala fire that I sing. They got two clipper rapid and they broke fire bing. Lucky making drop some checking pocket. The boy they even a walk with a matic. I just feel it, the pussy did a carry. Water for no step out and knock it running. Man I nail it, I was sit down and grabbing. We do the same thing. I have to know in this. Me have no rifle and so much rifle and so much matic. Cause I wanna go that boy 2 matic. Shot a spin like gala wine fast. Everybody got to duck it, good to fly past. Skin get a fire vampire price fast. Man a run and a lick up in the glory to God, glory to God. I just see a gala fire that I sing. They got two clipper rapid and they
All right, we're gonna pick back up next week, all right? If you all still on, we're gonna pick back up next week. You know what I mean? Join us in for next week. Same time, Friday evening. Right? Friday afternoon from around, it'll be what, 9 p.m. UK time, around what, 4 p.m. American time. But we're gonna pick it back up from next week, all right? Until then, shalom.
Did you fuck of them lose them senses or something? Something wrong with them. Something wrong with them. Them lick their head.
All right. On the ends from next week, 9 p.m. UK time, GMT time. American time around 4 o'clock, all right? Around 4 o'clock, 9 p.m. UK time. You can tune in, all right, on the ends live from UK.
Lucky checking drop, so me checking pocket. The boy didn't even walk with a matic. I just feeling the pussy did a carry. Walk a foot, man step out and make it running. Man, I nail it. I must sit down and grab it. We do the same thing. After nothing like this, me have no rifle like so much rifle like so much matic. Gaza man, I know that boy too automatic. Shot a spin like gyal a wine fast. Everybody got to duck it, eagle to fly past. Sting get a fire, vampire price fast. Man, I run and I get up in the glory to God, glory to God. I just see a man up fire that I sing with your two clipper rapid and you rocky fire big. Sit down on them it's like it is an office. Cause she don't want to load SLR blood callus. I must see rapture this to blood clot. Man of vanish 6 months and not with the M1 and couple college. Do you feel it? I have the lady bodies. We get the grace slave from down in the valley. Share like a brook valley, now tell you stab it. Griff a can of some blood clot gonna carry. Shot a spin like gyal a wine fast. Everybody got to duck it, eagle to fly past. Sting get a fire, vampire price fast. Man a run and I get up in the glory to God, glory to God. I just see a man up fire that I sing with your two clipper rapid and you rocky fire big. Lucky checking drop, so me checking pocket. The boy didn't even walk with a matic. I just feeling the pussy did a carry. Walk a foot, man step out and make it running. Man I nail it. I must sit down and grab it. We do the same thing. After nothing like this, man have no rifle like so much rifle like so much matic. Gaza man alone have boy too automatic. Shot a spin like gyal a wine fast. Everybody got to duck it, eagle to fly past. Sting get a fire, vampire price fast. Man a run and I get up in the glory to God, glory to God. I just see a girl a fire that I sing with your two clipper rapid and you rocky fire big.
Hold on one second. Hold on.
Glory to God, glory to God, glory to God, glory to God. One piece squares and everything I jump out. Behave yourself, yeah. I glad man no safe it. Watch your mouth. You know the drug is go. Team on the feet chopper. Circle the ends, everybody flatter. Mid 90 was full him up a copper. My brain fly like a buckle scabber. And all them attack, it don't really matter. Dark rainfall that a change weather. We no thump in our face, what do me wonder? People are feel dead, feel we feel better. And we no talk if we not do it. And when we go street, 50 caliber they travel.